right. We here, DJ Hampton P. We in the building. This might be risky. We got a special one for y'all today. Singles edition.
Wow.
You motherfuckers lonely, it's cold, so I figured they ain't had shit to do tonight, so I wanted to pull them in and see if we can get their opinions about some shit. Shan, what'd you make that face for? I'm wrong?
Correct.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming, but I seen Laura a couple of days ago. She had a scarf on. She was in the house. I said, God damn. Shit like that.
Shit like that.
B, what up, though?
What's going on, good brother Hamp, the Stampede Watson? What it do?
All right, yeah. All right, mute your mic, B. Mike, what's good, man? Welcome.
Glad to be here. I'm going to give you some good advice to the women. And it's funny, everybody had trouble getting on, and this is why they want y'all to come back into the office. This is exactly why.
Yeah, these niggas cannot work virtually.
This is pitiful.
That was the worst display of technology use I've seen in quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Shan, what's good, man? Welcome back. Where you been at?
Thanks. I've been traveling. I missed you all, though. But I'm here.
Where'd you go?
I went to Jamaica. I did. So.
That counts as traveling still?
Yeah, I was in Spain like a month before. So all domestic travel. Well, not domestic, but, this side of the water.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you. B, are you done giving Shan any compliments? You want to continue?
I was just telling just how nice she looked. She had the braids, and I was just saying she looked nice.
Much appreciated.
Shit like that.
Don't let him be a hater.
Anytime. All the ladies look lovely. Actually, Avery, she looked.
Wow.
Avery, she looked good with them glasses on. Isha, is that a ball? Look good on you. And Laura, I like your hair, Laura.
Thank you.
Where you live? You live in the DMV?
Yes.
See me after the show.
Oh.
Okay. Ish, what up, though?
I'm here once again. I'm here.
Yeah, man, you've been showing off, man. You got off that stage. Indeed. How was today for you? Good?
It's good because my last week is coming up at my job, so I'm just smooth selling.
Indeed, I can dig it. Oh, you starting a new job?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shout out to that, man. Congrats. Sis, what up? Welcome. Why you ain't hold on now? Why you ain't keep your name from the comments? You trying to?
I don't know. That's what came to mind, so I put it there.
Bruh. All right. Asia was good. Hey, love.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Boy, niggas be trying to catch, boy. God damn. Okay, I can dig it.
And you know why I had technical difficulties, right?
Why that?
I didn't have a woman helping me.
Bruh.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you ever seen Bear Grylls stranded on an island, but the women almost died in 2.5 days. So we'll figure that out. Laura, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Why were you late?
Because I had just gotten home.
What that mean?
That means I just got home. That's what that means.
From where?
The store.
What store?
Listen, you asking a lot of questions.
See, niggas be telling stuff. So you don't know what store. I'm gonna ask you again. Why you was late?
Because I was at the store.
What store?
Giant.
That's right across the street. See?
Bruh.
All right, man. All right. Listen, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. This might be risky. This is a special edition. This is the singles edition. We're gonna get into it. All right. We here. So, where do I want to start? All right. So, you ever notice? Have you ever heard of like women getting flued out? You heard of that before? You ever seen a 21-year-old woman on a 40-foot yacht that she never had to pay for to get on it, or in a section with bottles that she never even dreamt of putting in $1 for? You ever seen that? Mike, did we ever experience that?
Never.
Yeah, we never experienced, but we have experienced people in our section never had putting in a dime.
Oh yeah. These are the ones that walk up like, you know. Absolutely.
So, and then it's funny, right? How women experience that specifically in their 20s, right? Because they fly, they look good, this, that, and the third. They living it out, they taking trips, the whole 9 yards, right? And then when they turn 30, they want men, right, to be ready for relationships and date, right? But what happens in our 20s? We got to grind it out. We don't have any money. We not on the yacht. We not buying sections, not none of that. So then we finally get a couple coins, and then we start living a life they was living in their 20s. And now men ain't shit all of a sudden. Right? Because we don't want to settle down, this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. But we want to take trips. We want to fly ourselves out. We want to be on the yacht that maybe we purchased. Because we start to hit our stride when we like 35. So, do you guys think women are hypocritical in this facet?
Yeah, I'll start, man. I think as men, we get better with age. Exactly what you said. Our 20s, I don't want to say broke, but we didn't have the means. In our 30s, we finally have the means. We finally taking care of ourselves, and we have a choice. And so, I think by exercising that choice, it's a double standard. Women got to do that in their 20s and in their younger 30s, and now we're seeing men do it. And the narrative is totally shifted into, niggas ain't shit, men ain't shit. But what it comes down to is we have a choice, and we are exercising that choice.
I always laugh because Hamp, you pick like the worst caliber of women and make that your standard, and saying women, and Mike too with the cup out like this and with wanting to drink from VIP. Like
that's our truth.
Well,
that's
the problem is that you all need to broaden. Well, you're older now, y'all kind of washed up. But when y'all 20s or period, need to broaden your horizons and stop going after the ones that have their hand out, that are trying to get into VIP for free and trying on these yachts and whatever, and just like to lay on their back, right? And it's not necessarily wise or even prudent to be, well, y'all did it, I can do it now in my 30s. Because in all honesty, in your 30s, you should be settling down, right? And trying and wanting to get that good woman that you say that you want, starting a family, becoming established. Just because you saw women do it, chicken heads do it, doesn't mean that that's the way to go. So if that's your role model, a chicken head, I feel sorry for you.
So
I feel like what you would be doing with that though is, you're moving the goalposts. You're talking about men should be settling down in their 30s, but let's just stick to the topic. Like Hamp said, lots of men in their 20s are grinding, even in their 30s, and lots of men when they are in their 30s.
So are women grinding in their 20s and 30s and 40s.
Can he finish? Nobody cut you off.
You're right. I apologize. I meant what I said, though. But I meant what I said, though. Let's be very clear. Women in their 20s grind.
All right, can he finish? Yeah, we know you're gonna play that game. We got you, Asia. I love you. Go ahead, B.
But if a man has worked hard in his 20s and if in his 30s he wants to take that vacation or, like Hamp said, be on that yacht, I don't see anything that's wrong with that. I'm totally cool with that. I don't see absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing else.
I agree on both sides, actually, a little bit, but I have a different perspective because I know of the women y'all probably ran into in the club looking with their hand out, expecting something from a man and all this other stuff, or access to things that you all have paid for, trying to get their attention and all this other stuff. Got that. I was not part of that class of women. So it's hard for me to kind of relate in that sense because I was grinding in my 20s. And if I ain't have it, I just ain't have it. Still was dating and everything. Met some great guys, met some terrible guys, but it was never, I never called them ain't shit or something like that because of something they weren't providing to me. It was definitely for other reasons. But when Asia pointed out you should be settling down in your 30s, let me just be clear on this podcast tonight. Are we looking at singlehood as something negative? Because I don't have anything for you. I'm very positive about it. So if you don't want to settle down in your 30s, Godspeed. Everybody going through their first round of divorces right now anyway. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I was not on the first set. So, I mean, I'm very happy in my singlehood. I wouldn't mind leaving it for the right person.
That's a lot.
But I'm very happy in mine. And this is the other thing. I don't know if y'all saw it, maybe not. There was a post some dude posted and it got reshared. I reshared it. Like, you're going to have to come with something harder than you single and they never going to have a family, girl, because these women don't care. We don't. I'm out here having a good time, taking my trips to my 30s, grinding out at work, got friends, got a friend when I need it. Like, baby, I don't care. I'm very positive about singlehood until you find your right person. Please don't waste your money because getting married to the wrong person or aligning with the wrong person is just going to end up in a divorce or some kids you got to pay for the rest of your life. Have a good time. Spend your money how you want to and get around better class of women. And women get around better class of men. That's it.
What is so you're saying you're intentionally single?
I think you're intentionally single till you're not. Like, I'm not out in these streets looking for a dude to fill a space because all my girlfriends who did that in their 20s to fill a space and live out the life they wanted are now privately saying, I do everything in my marriage. This is not what I wanted. I married him at a different time. Like, I wish I had waited. This isn't for me. I'm lonely in my marriage. Because you picked a dude in your 20s because he was ready to settle down and get married and all this other stuff and have kids. And now you realize you picked the wrong person. So,
okay. Laura, what's your thought?
So I've definitely benefited from bottle section.
Yep.
Yep. I've never gotten food out, but I've definitely benefited from, going to the club and having someone invite you to their section. Is it an expectation? No. But am I gonna? Huh?
That's the local food out. The club.
Maybe it is.
Let her finish the thought.
But I've never looked down on a guy if he wasn't in a section. That was never my aim. Especially when I found out how much they really cost, I was like, it's not a requirement. But I have benefited from it. And I'm okay with saying that. I don't look down on a guy who doesn't feel the need to do that. But that's just my opinion. And I agree with Shannon. Sorry, I said your name wrong. No one's out here sad.
Well, you got your shit like you talking like a robot.
Okay, I'm gonna call back in.
Yeah, try to just go out and come back in real quick.
Okay.
Man, these fucking Dells and HPs y'all be buying, man. The pits. The pits. All right, what you think, Eddie? So did you hear the lead up to the question?
Yeah, I heard the lies. It's unfortunate, man, because there is, I would say what Shani was saying was about 20% of what reality is. I can't speak to your individual perspective and, what you've been through as far as your experience. But when women say these things in regards to, I'm married too young or this wasn't expected, it is because You did not do your due diligence around what marriage actually is. It's about duty, right? So it's not necessarily you looking into having a great time and seeing what marriage looks like from an Instagram perspective. The shit is hard ass work. My parents just celebrated 37 years of marriage, right? My aunts and uncles, all I have in my life are examples of 30, 40, 50-year-old marriages, right? I've seen these people go up and down, battle, go through hardships, etc. Right? That collective of people that I see married, they go to therapy together. They go to church together. They go to all these things together, right? So for our generation, whenever I hear fucking complaints, you didn't do your fucking research or you didn't thoroughly vet your partner, right? So now you with a lame ass nigga, or sometimes the women is a lame ass nigga, right? So like you out here thinking that you're supposed to be in this enchanted forest of a marriage. It's like, no, this shit is work. Sometimes you're gonna be disgusted with your partner. Sometimes you're gonna love the shit out of them, and that's a part of the journey. So all them complaints and shit and how high the divorce rate is, it's because people are fucking stupid going into the shit and thinking it's just gonna be butterflies and trips to Tulum and shit. Like, no, like the shit is hard work, and don't throw a kid in there. It's just like then the shit get real. So I just think it's very fucking aloof to think that that's the case and like supposed to move in a way in which marriage is supposed to be all these other things. And then if you don't get these things right in the boyfriend girlfriend stage when you're supposed to be asking these hard ass questions, like don't get married, son.
Eddie, and I was just saying that a lot of my friends will be honest and say they picked a dude because he fit into what they were trying to do at the time. So to your point, they didn't vet them, and you're 10 years in, 2 kids in, and you feeling lonely and like you're with the wrong person. So yeah, I agree with you.
And that happens way too often. Mm-hmm. Like I can look at a couple our age right now, I'm just like, yo, y'all don't even fuck with each other. Mm-hmm. Like y'all literally are just together for the sake of image or whatever else. Oh, we're in this group and our clique is this and everybody's together, so we should be together. And then you try to make that shit happen. It's just like, bruh, y'all are fucking miserable. And you could tell.
So can I get back to the question? Because the question is not about marriage. The question is, would women be successful if roles were reversed? And I just want to ask a clarifying question to the question. That is the question, Eddie. That is. I'm just scrolling at the bottom. Ticker tape. But is the question, would women be successful if they grinded in their 20s? Like, I'm trying to figure out what is the nature of this question? Like, what is the germane point of this question? It doesn't make sense. Pam.
What?
That's why we kind of ran past it.
You weren't listening?
We were all grinding in our 20s, to my understanding. I feel like all of y'all are successful people. You didn't get here last night. I was in law school. I won't worry about none of you fools. So, like,
but the crazy part about it is, the couple episodes ago, we got ridiculed and mocked by one of the men on the panel because we were too successful and we went to school in our 20s. We had no social skills. I said that's stupid. We do have social skills, right?
Whoever said that's a joke.
I agree. I totally agree with you. But what I'm saying is, we all were grinding in our 20s. So I don't understand the nature of this question. Will women be successful? What roles?
Do you think that's a small pool of women that get all those benefits in which I named? You think that's a smaller pool than the women who don't get those benefits?
But we do get those benefits. I mean, I was flued out in July, so it can still happen. So I think that's a misconception. Thank you. Because we still got it. Some of us still do have it. Okay.
Oh, you're saying old women get flued out too?
Yes. Because you implied that only women in their early 20s and all that. No. We still do get flued out. The only thing is, it may be by the guy that's been in the friend zone.
Did you put out?
You know what I'm saying?
Did you put out?
Did you hear Mike's question?
Did you have sex?
Mike,
Wow.
I mean, you do what you do. You do what you do. But was it?
Why could we
Okay.
never get a yes? Like,
Yeah,
women
I don't
cannot answer
understand. I
direct
don't understand.
questions.
I don't
Like,
understand.
I had a debate with a guy about that. It wasn't us in it, but we were talking in general. If that was a requirement, and I was like, so you if you fly somebody out, it's a requirement.
Goddamn right.
No, it wasn't.
Here's my
It
thing. Here's my thing. I'm not gonna
Listen.
hire a plumber who does it a little bit on the side, and he's fixed the pipe before to come work on serious shit in my house. There are women that are employed to do that. Fly out someone who's employed to do that if that's the expectation. Unless y'all
No, listen.
I got a question.
I can't speak. I'm going to speak for all men. Sex is expected.
I got that.
Shani. I want to know, what fantasy world do you women live in that you expect a man to fly you out and you think you aren't obligated to give up any chance?
You're not obligated.
You're never obligated.
oh my God.
Hey, B. It's the same women that do this in the
not
section.
all men are fiending.
Same type of women.
Not all men are fiending.
If any man flies a woman out on this podcast, he's expecting sex. I can speak for every man in this podcast.
He can expect what he wants, but
he
to
may
my
not get
point,
it.
I wouldn't go if that's your expectation.
Hold on. Wait 1 second. Where does y'all's level of accountability lie? That you would know that a man likes you, obviously because he's flying you out. He's not flying you out to have cereal. Okay, he's not flying you out.
See, I agree with you. You're not wrong. Y'all have the expectation, but women need to take accountability. If you don't want to do that, or you're not down for that, or you don't feel like it, you always have that choice. But don't take the flight. And my point is, for men, so you're not let down, you should hire women who do that for a profession, not take a chance that she might say no at the end of the point. That was just something me and my homeboy were talking about. No need to go into details about all this. That's not the question.
Thank you, Mother Watson.
Man, Isha, what's your take? If somebody fly you out, do you feel obligated to get a box up?
Fucking ridiculous.
And now I'm gonna be honest. Before I accept the trip, I'm gonna have that conversation with myself. Am I gonna sleep with them? Because if I feel like I don't want to sleep with them, I'm not going, because I know that that's what their expectation is.
Okay, so you agree?
I do. But if I say I'm going, then I'm coming ready to play too.
But I knew I wasn't obligated. I knew that. There's certain men out here who won't.
Man, he's a sucker. Whatever. He's a.
You keep cutting me off. I don't know why. What's wrong with you?
Who's who? I cut you off?
Yes, you keep doing that. As soon as I do it to you, you're gonna have beef.
Hold on. I apologize because I will make sure not cut you off anymore.
So, but he did say that the dude that flew you out without no expectations was a sucker.
Who said that? B?
Yeah.
B. Nah, B can't even get a.
Wait, but is he a sucker, sis? Because you always keep it 100. So is he a sucker though? No, don't not answer the question.
No, he's not a sucker. I think that he has unconditional genuine love for me.
What?
Yo, the delusion is wild, son.
Wow. Like the conversation I had with
So
I should have drank for this shit. God.
So back to the question, would women be successful if the roles were reversed? No, right? Because when it comes down to women, I cooked for him, I showed up, I met his family, I represented the best version of myself, and he still didn't give me a title or a marriage. It's the same thing, you know what I'm saying? We're paying for dates, we're flying y'all out, we want to have sex, and then you're like, oh, that don't mean shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, it's a double standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to follow what Eddie said. I know we're not talking about marriage, but did you see what Michelle Obama said about she had a hard time with Barack, and saying that you may go through some hard years, in a marriage or in a relationship, and all these black women are like, nah, fuck that, I can't do it. Nah, I'm not doing that shit. Nah. And it's just it's amazing to see it.
I agree with what she said, but I would have supported
black women, yes.
I would have supported a man on that trajectory as well. I would have done my 70, 85%. Okay.
She had no idea. She had no idea he was going to be president.
Yeah.
She had no idea.
I didn't say president. I didn't say then. That man didn't start being president in 2008.
He was a volunteer.
He was on his way to being something great long before that.
He was a volunteer. She was a partner at a big law firm.
But Mike, let's also not forget that level of patience is almost non-existent with the current modern woman.
It doesn't
in
exist.
Regards to like seeing the potential of a man and like, you know, I'm gonna walk through these battles with him and yada yada yada. Y'all dump his ass, and next thing you know, he's a DA of DC. He's the mayor of some city. It's just like, damn, now he got another thing on his side when it could have been your ass. But it's just like you listen to your girlfriend circle, a whole bunch of chicks that are single as fuck. It's just like
on here got patience because we done been through hell with at least.
Now I don't speak for every woman. I hate when y'all do that. I don't speak for these other men. Y'all notice that? Yeah, we don't do that shit. Don't speak for the other chicks. Like, these chicks out here making all sorts of errors.
Let me take a poll. Women here,
Windows reset,
have you
Control
been patient
Alt Delete.
with someone to your own demise at some point in your life?
Then that's your peripheral. Then that's your awareness. Like, you know, your lack of pussy management is not on that man. It's on you.
Wow. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
I think we just don't have patience for the games men play. Because I think
I got patience to be flued out though. Yo, like, nah, I'm coming with the shit tonight.
No. We don't have patience for the games. Men know what they want. And if they don't want you like that,
I want to fly you over and knock your cheeks through the walls.
You guys have no manners. I'm
telling you what's going through my mind, right? Like, yeah, like, hey, I want you to come through. We've been talking. You know, I think these things are going really good. Let me fly you out. You know what? Let's take a trip to Miami. You think I want to fucking cuddle? No, I'm getting a shit with a balcony so I can have you like drop down and get your eagle on. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we adults. Come on, man. Y'all bullshit.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Laura, give me a final thought on this topic.
My final thought is I agree that if you agree on go on a trip with a guy and you haven't had that full conversation like this isn't going to happen, you shouldn't go. I feel like if a guy offers me a trip, I know the expectation. It sucks. It's not something that I should have to think about, but I know the expectation. And once I say yes, I know that it's expected that I'm not have to, but I'm going to let some things go. Unfortunately, that's the society we live in. I don't agree with it. I don't make the rules, but that's just what it is. So I am very cautious about who I agree to go on trips with, especially if you're not my man.
Do you feel like it's unfortunate when niggas pay for everything, like the bottles that you sipped on?
No, it's not unfortunate. That's a choice that they made.
Son, the contradictions are wild.
No,
it wasn't even 20 seconds before you lied on yourself.
No, I do not feel bad.
Holy shit.
I was walking by and you said, do you want to drink? And I said, yes. What is the issue?
Do you want to take a trip? And you said yes. What is the issue?
No. If I know that I'm not going to be out with this guy, I'm not going on the trip. That is a fact.
Right.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Listen, man. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All right.
I don't even accept drinks, side note, from guys that I don't want to talk to. I don't want you to waste your money. So, like, there's some women who won't do that.
Shan.
Anyway, go ahead.
I know you ain't been on in a while, but I was transitioning.
Shut up. Bye him.
Jeez Louise. I seen all them plaques on the wall. You ain't in court, motherfucker. Just sit there for a second. All right. So, kind of leading into this question a little bit. Should women be willing to compete for the man they desire? Men compete, period. That's what we do. Day in, day out, at work. Because we can talk about grinding, but there's levels to that shit. Point blank, period. So, yeah, women get it in. You guys, I know you guys for a fact got it in, but it's still levels to it. Y'all don't see the same thing we see. especially as black men. So we compete. Men compete. But should women be willing to compete for the man that they desire? What you think? What you think, sis?
Do you even want a woman that will compete for you? I thought men go get it.
Huh?
I thought men hunt. Like you guys go get the women you want.
They're
Versus
supposed to. They're
Yeah,
supposed
the
to.
women. What do? No. Hold on. Let's just. What word did you use? Was it WOMEMEN or AN?
Huh?
You said we go get the women we want. That's WOMEN.
So, well,
Right?
you
So
go.
that's women plural, right? But if you don't compete and it's plural, it's multiple women. How do you win?
I feel like men ultimately choose despite what we do. Just what I think.
Wow. Okay, so you can just exist, and then he'll just pick you.
I mean, a lot of times, do women even know there is another woman they're competing with? Like, if you select the woman, you're courting the woman, and then you're dating that woman. Do you tell a woman that there's you, and then there's her, and then there's her and her? So how do you? I don't know.
Do you think women are? Do you think, from your experience in society, that men that are worth their weight are dating one woman at a time?
No.
So you answer your own question, right? He don't have to tell you for you to know, or what?
Unfortunate truth.
Yeah.
I guess I did, but I feel like men choose. Like, despite I don't know. I'm looking at competition as like I don't know. You know for a fact there's this specific woman, and then you're competing for this guy's attention. Like I don't know. I feel like men lie to all the women they're dating, and just to keep them coming back.
So, Jesus Christ. So, what's your answer? No, is it?
So Ham.
Hold on, Ace. Let me just get
Okay,
it. Let me
go
get
ahead.
an answer real quick, if you don't mind. Go ahead.
Say the
Women
question
always
one more
compete.
time. One more time.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Go ahead, Asia. Fuck that. I ain't pulling teeth for get no answer. Go ahead, Asia.
So the competition. Yeah. So can you hear me? Is my mic okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. Choppy though, your
Can you hear
camera.
me?
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. So competition means that you got. I'm talking. Oh, yeah, it's a lag. All right. So competition denotes that you have to do tricks or whatever, right? You have to do different obstacle courses for him to choose you. Ultimately, the man's going to choose who he vibes with the best, right? And I don't have to do anything special. Me just existing, and if I am his person, he'll choose me. The nature of dating is to understand initially that we want to be with this person the rest of our lives. So there is going to be multiple people. It could be multiple people in the pool in which we're dating the same person. That's okay. Until we decide that we're going to be exclusive and then venture down the path of marriage and a lifelong commitment. Beginning, when you're not so exclusive, you're getting to know that person and then her and him. Like I'm getting to know him and him and him and him. Not necessarily just sexual, but also on spiritual, emotional, and mental level. And that's okay. So competing, no, we don't have to compete, and y'all shouldn't have to compete. Just be who you are, because you're putting your representative up in the front. And when you compete, you're not being true to who you really are when you're competing, because you feel like you have to perform. I'm not going to perform all of my life. So if you're performing now, and I think that's who you are, when your performance stops later, I'm going to be angry. So don't ever perform and compete. Just exist and be. And if that's who you're supposed to be with, then it'll happen.
What you think, Mike?
Oh, I disagree. I didn't know it was. I thought it was just for women.
No,
Yeah, that's like nonsense. I mean, I think like of course you compete. Both people should compete. When you date women, a man, we assume that we are not the only man you're talking to or the only man you're entertaining at the time, and you all will choose the person that represents themselves the best. So we have to put on a little show. We got to put on a performance. If we just show up as ourselves, we will lose 100% of the time. And so just to hear that,
Well, who am I
women,
marrying, the performer or you?
you're going to choose a person that put on the best show.
Who am I marrying, the performer or you?
The person that put on the best show. That's who you're going to marry. The person that you were most impressed by.
I don't want a circus bear. I don't want a circus bear putting performances on.
You're talking in
I
absolute.
don't want someone doing tricks and performing. I want a man. That's what we do on this show, right? Ain't that right here? We talking absolutes. We've been talking.
You want a man. You want a man who put his best foot forward to impress you, to make to show you that he was the person that you wanted to choose. That's what you want.
And you have to sustain it. And I want him to sustain it. When you're putting your best foot forward, okay.
It's like me saying
that does not.
That's like me saying that the sex we had the first time we linked up, I want to experience that same level of sex for the duration of our relationship. That's just unrealistic.
The same level of sex is not unrealistic because then you razzle dazzle. Whatever whatever changes, you evolve and change together. And if we're having sex, I mean, again, it changes. We do different stuff. We try to compensate. If your dick gets a little bit softer or it can't stay as hard, we got to improvise. And I'm sorry to be so graphic, but if that's what we do, it's like, let's do it. Because don't act like it's just the woman. Like, y'all stuff goes downhill as you get older. You don't want to be left behind because your dick don't stay hard but for 5 seconds. Okay? So we have to.
I don't have that problem.
One another.
Okay. So is that why people end in divorce, because now the circus is over or the representative is gone? Like, what's going on?
People evolve. You know what I'm saying? I think people evolve, people change, circumstances make people change. And what's happening is people aren't willing to stick it through. You're not willing to see the person that you fell in love with in a different light. And so you get divorced.
Everyone should be evolving. You should never stay stagnant. Yeah. The core of you does not change. The core of me does not change. Now, if I decide to, so my core values don't change. Now, but if I decide that
you don't marry for values.
You don't?
You don't marry for values. No.
You just said it earlier. You marry for duty.
If you marry for values, then you should be able to marry a 400-pound man.
Absolutely.
No, you don't marry for fucking values.
Absolutely.
No,
I agree with you because some people value that over the appearance. Because you can sit there and be what you look like now, Mike, today, and then tomorrow or a year from now, you could be 600 freaking pounds. Because God forbid a health condition happens. You don't want her.
This is wild, son. I think Asia plays soccer the way she moves the goalposts. This is crazy.
And Hemp knows me. I said I'm gonna get a prenup, and divorce proceedings will automatically activate when she hits a certain weight limit. That's just real. I say that all the time.
Shit like that.
And when you get a gummy worm dick, you want her to leave you? But when you get a gummy worm dick, do you want her to leave you? No, you want her to stay around and still love you. Because you didn't fall in love with that.
They got an app for that.
Yeah, that's an easy fix.
Yeah, they got an app for that.
Yeah.
No, they don't always work.
But back to the question, I think that both parties should compete. But women, you should always bring your best foot forward. I think the idea that you don't have to work for your man is ridiculous. I think you have to bring something to the table too. We have a choice.
Let me get Laura. What you think?
Oh God.
Should women be willing to compete for the man they desire?
I feel like we like to think that we're not in competition with other people, but we are. And that's just the action. That's a fact, right? If someone asks me on a date, I am going to do my best to put my best foot forward. And that means picking out the best outfit, picking out the best dress, picking out the best heels. But that's just me. I also know that this person is probably dating other people. And I'm going to try and put my best foot forward. So that's an unofficial competition if you think about it, right? Like you're trying to get to know this person and you're also competing with other people that he's trying to get to know. Now, whether you want to call it a competition or not, it's a competition. That's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Good thought. B, what you think? Should women be willing to compete?
Absolutely. I feel like it's a competition all the way around. I look at certain men, who are my friends, and I know for a fact that there's women that have to compete for them. I just feel like that's the nature of the beast. And I don't feel like that's a bad thing. You as a woman just have to set yourself apart for that competition. For the man that you desire. So yeah, I feel like women would have to compete for a man.
Yeah. Isha, what you think? Should women be willing to compete for the man they desire?
I don't know about other women, but I don't think I'm going to compete. I know I'm not going to compete because I can only show you who I am and what I'm willing to put up with from the get-go. I'm not going to show you a representative because I can't keep up with the representative. I'm going to give you 100% who I am. If you like it, you'll stick around. If you don't, you won't. I think when you put yourself in a position where you're competing, he has two women competing and both women are showing him the best parts of them, he's going to have a hard time choosing. And as long as they're competing, he's going to keep both of them around. I remember I had a friend and she was dating a guy, and she flat out told the other girl, listen, I'm not going to stop dating him. And the other girl said, and I'm not going to either. So when he has two women doing something like that, what he going to do?
Well, I feel like under that scenario you gave, I feel like sounds to me he was just stringing them ladies along. But I feel like to Hamp's point, so let's say, Isha, there was this man that you were feeling, and he approaches you or you approach him, whatever. You wouldn't go like a little bit above and beyond just to separate yourself from the other woman that he is competing with?
I'm going to show him my true self because I cannot keep up with an image. And if I know for a fact that he is dealing with somebody, why am I interested?
Well, because people date, right? Are you saying that people have to monogamously date?
No. Dating is different. But that it's still with dating, I'm still showing you my true self.
Question.
I think that men are. I know a couple men I'm talking to that probably talk to a couple women. However, they're going to see who I am 100%. And if they continue to call me, it's because they're interested in me.
Question, Isha. You cooking for that man, right? For the first time ever. Are you going to cook your best dish?
I'm going to show him that I got a little cooking skills.
Are you going to cook your best dish?
Yeah. But I can keep up with that. That's something I can keep up
but
with.
nobody said competition. It's not about putting on a Superman cape. But you know that if he dating other people, what you said is fine, and she go to cook her best dish and you cook your second best dish, that's an L for you in the cooking category.
It might be.
Yeah, so you're not gonna cook your second.
You don't even know what she's doing, Ham. Like you're asking me to compete with the shadow. I don't even know who this woman is. What she's doing.
This is what I'm saying. But people know this stuff is going on. For you to act like you don't know somebody's dating other people and they could probably be cooking for them.
I agree with you on that. So
all I'm saying is
earlier because I was agreeing with you. I think my point was my phone was acting up. I think maybe you all didn't hear my point. I expect we're all dating different people, right? But you don't compete. You just be who you are.
But so why not cook your third best dish?
Yo, everything I cook is my best. I'm so serious. I'm telling you.
No, you can't. That's impossible.
No, it's not. No, son,
but like Laura said, you're gonna put your best foot forward. You're gonna date to impress. But I'm dating to impress, not because I'm thinking, oh, somebody else is doing something better than me. I'm dating him so he can like, okay, she can cook, she can dress, she got that bomb. You know what I'm saying? But not so that he can be like, oh, Aisha does this and so does something else. That's when I think about competition, that's what I'm thinking about.
always somebody better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my thing is, someone can always cook better than you. Yes, we should put our best foot forward. Absolutely. But
it's not about somebody being better. It's not about somebody being better.
So why am I competing? I'm just going to be myself. That's my whole. Thank you, Mike. You've proven my point. It's not about it's because someone's
disagreeing with you.
I feel like y'all are caught up.
You're actually falling right into my.
So what I'm saying is not about being the best cook. It's about like presenting the best yourself that attracts the man. You know, you don't have to be the best cook, but if somebody that values cooking, I'm going to go with the person that can cook. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be great, but it's something that I value. So yeah, you should put your best foot forward.
And sometimes it's just the effort, right? Like if you burn every goddamn thing, just like, you know what, baby, you tried. Let's go get something to eat because this ain't it. But if I see at minimum that you trying, like, okay, cool. But like I also feel like majority of what I just said was complete lies, because if you remove men from the shit, women are in perpetual competition with each other, even over little petty ass shit. So just like the idea that it doesn't come across your mind to remotely put yourself in a better position with a man that you really like, that's bullshit.
Right.
Y'all all do it. It's just like, you know what? Let me drop this on him like this. Like, oh, like you got that one sexual technique that you're really good at. Or let me do this for him so he can remember this shit. He gonna remember this pussy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Come on now.
Hey, so
silence.
I'm with A Love and Isha. I think women shouldn't compete, but I agree with Eddie that y'all do. So while y'all are saying y'all don't, y'all do. With a lot of single women that I work with, I'm always telling them to just be, because you have no control on whether or not you're going to be in a relationship. And that's so much pressure that women put on themselves trying to be something that they're not. How Isha was saying, like, it's not sustainable. And so it's literally causing these women to break down, not knowing what to do, trying all of these different things to get a man, and none of it's working. So I'm big on telling them you don't have to compete. Just become the best version of yourself. Compete against yourself. So continue to work on yourself. In terms of a lot of qualities that go into being a wife, you can develop those qualities in other areas, right? You can be feminine in other areas. You can know how to communicate in other areas. You can learn how to cook and cultivate. You can know how to do all of these different things in other areas, so that when you get married, some of it will transition over. So I think the only person they need to be in competition with truly is becoming the best versions of themselves. But I agree with Eddie. Y'all do compete in everything, though.
Adrian, question on that. Hold on, and I got you. I just want to ask a question. Do you think that, like, if you tell a woman that, right, but she has to be self-aware.
Absolutely.
Do you think that the women of today are self-aware?
Hell no.
For the most part, no. But I think it is trending upward to where they are becoming more and more self-aware. So I'll give y'all that, ladies, but it's still,
I think
still not the best at it.
Well, is the trend? Well, I'll ask you that after. But to do what you're saying, be the best version of yourself, if they're not self-aware and they're all rating themselves 10s, how are they going to achieve that?
Some just gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Some just gonna stay in that lane, or they gonna get it too late. You know what I'm saying? After the fact, you know how Kevin Samuel say, you know, be old, die, get a dog. And some of them may never get it. But I really think a lot of women are getting it. I think more and more are getting it.
You married, nigga.
But I'm just saying, I'm with you, A-Love. I'm with you.
Put him in the fucking bed. Get him out of here. Come on.
Yeah, that nigga just on the panel because Sean Flake. Fuck Sean. All right. Shit. Shan, what you think? Hold on.
Sorry,
Let me get Shan. Adrian.
No, I agree with a lot of things everyone said on both sides. I would be turned off if I actually knew of what a competition was going on between me and other women. Like, figuratively, yes, they could be talking to someone else, cool, but I don't know who that person is, or because, like, it's not in my face. But the thing is, before I met this man, and constantly, and this is just me, you can call it being self-aware or whatnot, I'm constantly working on myself. Constantly. So when I meet you, I'm still working on myself. Like I literally just wrote out all these goals I want to hit before the end of the year because tomorrow's December 1st. Like I'm focused on being the best part of me, best me every day. And then when you come around, I have such a game-like thing going on in my head, not about relationships, but if you come over, I'm like, dang, I'm about to burn up in this kitchen, like, because I want to make a bomb ass meal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like to be affirmed, like, that shit was good. You know what I mean? So I'm going to make it, but it's more a competition with myself than for you. And so I honestly think more about myself when I'm talking to a dude and I'm impressing myself and you just happen to be impressed because you there. So, I'm sorry. I'm self-aware. I know.
Nah, it's ill. It's ill. It just married women just speak so much differently.
They do, and I applaud those who want to get in marriage. Unpopular opinion. I know myself enough. I'm not a big of service person, so I'm probably not cut out for marriage. I have no desire to be of service to someone else for the rest of my life, even kids. I know that about me. I like companionship, but I ain't built to like take over certain roles, like cook every night. That ain't me. So, but I can cook my
honest. I could get behind that. That's honest. I'm like, so we're going to Cheesecake Factory. We're going to Maggiano's. Like, let's be outside with it. But I'm a chef, so I'm a cook. So if you can't cook for shit, I need you to stay out the kitchen.
I can cook, Eddie. I just don't want to be known as of service to, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're complaining because I didn't cook 5 nights a week. You know what I mean? You know your baby can cook. She just busy with work or kids that got this. I don't want to be responsible for certain things. I don't want to be of service.
That sounds just like the word submissive. Like women have this title phobia that just plays y'all brain cells. Just like, I just don't want to be known as this. That only exists in your head, though. Like, beyond that, only exists in your head. Who else is telling you that shit?
A word to describe it, because we all can be honest here and say, coming out of singlehood, you have to be prepared. We talked about this earlier, to be of service to another person, to be unselfish, to want to come together and know it's not always going to be 50-50. I'm 100% all day over here by myself. Like I'm of service to me, and I'm of service to other people when I feel like it. Like it's beautiful. I love it. But I do also like companionship.
A little crack in that laugh.
No, I'm just saying I do also like companionship, and I could be that person to the right person. But that's something individuals have to want to do. I just don't want to do it right now. That's it.
Right now.
That's real.
Okay. Question. Mike, what'd you rate yourself?
8.
B, what'd you rate yourself?
I would give myself a 6.
Oof.
What the hell? Who said ooh?
Never say anything less than an 8.
Chill.
No.
Laura, what you rate yourself?
Probably an 8.
Asia, don't run. Look, this nigga don't run. Ish, what you rate yourself?
Now unmute yourself.
Better not say 10.
I don't think that, I don't say above average. I'm not.
So what? 6?
6, 7, 8, around there.
That's fake. Give yourself a number. I'm interested.
I guess like a 7.
7 is such a safe. I should have eliminated 7.
It's above average.
Okay. Mike, you think you're a good catch?
Oh yeah, I know I am.
Why?
I make money, ambitious, fit, and I add value to whatever relationship I'm in. I mean, I'm damn near perfect.
B, you think you're a good catch?
Absolutely, Hamp. Just stand Watson.
Why?
because I have integrity, I got money, I have character. I help the elderly in my neighborhood. There's nothing I wouldn't do for a person. I'm educated. I know how to dress. I smell good. I look good. I come from a good family. Let me see what else.
Okay.
Shit like that.
Laura, you think you're a good catch?
Absolutely.
Why?
I come from a good family, 2-parent household. I make great money. I think that I'm very supportive. I think with the right person, I can be submissive. I'm caring. I can cook. The list goes on.
Okay.
Shit like that.
Isha, think you're a good catch?
I do.
Why?
I think because I am self-aware and I have done a lot of work on myself. So I'm not going to go down a whole list of everything that I am. I just know that I'm a good person and a good catch.
Well, I said good catch. You can't use the word in the definition.
I said I'm not going to go down a list and explain why. I said I've done a lot of work on myself. I am self-aware. I know what I add. So I'm a good catch.
Okay, you say you ain't want to do a list like bees. I get it.
Yeah.
Hey, B. Racine said you got to start using your toes when you was counting. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Do us a favor, hit the like button right now if you can. Definitely share the stream. Feel me? We almost had 2,000 subscribers, so we done hit this pocket. You know what I mean? So feel free to super chat, super like, all that good shit. So, do men get better with age?
No. It depends.
Don't. We know, shit. There's always a sum, but generally speaking, do men get better with age?
I just don't think people change at their core in general.
But the stuff that people pull and pick at, money, shit like that, like for men specifically.
I think, to answer your question directly, I think they do get better with age because with experience, time, more resources, they learn different things and they may choose to act differently or approach situations differently and learn from their past.
So yes?
Yeah.
What you think, fellas? Do men get better with age?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about women?
Women need to be guided. I feel that.
So hold on,
grown ass women.
Hold on. Do women get better with age?
Better.
Shake your head, yes, Eddie. They do.
Generally speaking, is a single woman who's 25, a single woman who's 35. Do women get better with age? If you had your selection.
Tough question.
Remember, it's a singles panel. Man. It's a singles panel. We talking about dating, this, that, and the third, right?
I think interpersonal skills are not focused on as heavy. I would say grown ass women tend to focus heavily on work and their job, right? Particularly if they're single. So in terms of their professional skills, how they manage their career elevation, they be top notch on it, right? Because most of their concentration is either to their cat or their dog or their job, right? You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it funky, right? Or
but for dating though.
For dating,
yeah, that's what the hell we've been talking about.
I'm gonna firmly say no, because that usually comes with a lack of decisions that have you at a certain age single.
Do women get better with age? And again, remember, this is a single show. We talking about dating.
I say no. I think you would deal with, and I want to date somebody in their 30s, but I think that you deal with more baggage and issues with a woman at 35 that's single versus a woman at 25.
Yeah. So yes for men, no for women. They can't hear you nodding.
Are we allowed to say about women or just the guys?
Huh?
Are we allowed?
Yeah. So I said yes for men, no for women.
I think women, if the woman has done her work and not let any past pain and trauma carry through to her new relationships, I think we do get better because we learn from things and we become more self-aware for the ones who've actually taken the time to do the work.
So
I personally
if
well,
your
not
aunt,
me personally,
if your
but
aunt dick, she'd be your uncle.
huh?
You started that whole thing with if your aunt had a dick, she'd be your uncle.
So I believe women can get better with age.
Oh, come on.
There you go.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Come on, give me an answer, man.
Yes, I think women get better with age.
She doesn't believe that in her soul.
No. Let
She
me
doesn't
tell
believe
you
it.
why, because he wants to frame out my answer instead of just hearing my answer. So let me tell you why I think women get better.
Well, Chan, before you answer, I just want to be clear. There's a lot of shows that motherfuckers can say some and can and sometimes. If those aren't real answers, like of course that's always a thing. There's always outliers. So I just want to put that context. Go ahead.
Gotcha. I would say amongst my peers, I'm 37. I'll be 38 come months. I'm seeing my shut up. Shut up. And I like how you skip past me on my rating. But anyway,
I ain't done. Go ahead.
So anyway, I would say women get better with age only because, like I spoke on earlier, my girlfriends who had a certain outlook on life of what they needed, married the men at the time, like in their 20s, they were looking for certain things. And I've seen time and time again to fulfill things they thought they didn't have in themselves, they were looking for in a man. I think now that they're older and have had some years, more confidence behind them, security, they start to see men differently and want different things for men. You know what I mean? Like they evolve and they get better. So they're not looking for petty things in a relationship anymore. And they get better with age. My priorities or the things I would look for in a guy today and how I would date are much different than how I dated in my 20s. I'm a grown ass woman. I'm looking for different things. I'm very secure in what I have going on. I'm looking for different things in a man now. And so I date differently.
Okay, that's fair. Even though you say you're gonna be single anyway, you ain't trying to do nothing for no nigga.
I said I am happy in my singlehood. I do not want to be of service right now. But when I align with someone, I align with them. It'd be great. We're gonna get back to asking me my score later. Bye.
Nah. Laura, what you think?
I can only speak for myself. And I do think that women get better with age if you have perspective. There's going to be an if. I know you don't want to hear the if, but that's the truth.
So look at this. Let me just, while you answer, so here's Shanae's comment. Shout out to Shanae. But as a man, can you guys see the comment?
Mm-hmm.
This don't seem inviting to me.
Correct.
Right? She's hip to the bull. Like what y'all think? Like we always up to something. Like as a man, right? If you present this to me and I have all the provisions, I can provide you provisions. This is what would I go for? Because go ahead, Mike.
I mean, it goes to what I said earlier. You know, a woman at 35 is going to be harder to date, even if you are a good man. You're going to face difficulties with a woman at 35 versus 25 because of what she said. I mean, hip to the bull or woman scorn, the same thing. You know, it's the same thing. I mean, but it's harder. And every man here who's dated somebody older, you know what I'm talking about. You have to deal with more nonsense and then break down barriers. You know, but for what?
Yeah. So you hear the man's take on that. High value man, just to make sure you guys understand. But Laura, your stance is the same.
Yes.
I just wonder though, if the men that you want to pursue don't agree, do we have to reassess?
Yeah, I'm totally okay with reassessing. But I also recognize that moving forward, I don't go in with, like, I know for a fact that because I did the work and I went to therapy and did all those things, I'm not walking in with baggage. Like, I'm not walking in thinking this person's going to hurt me. But that's on purpose, right? That's a choice that I'm choosing to make. I recognize that pushes people away. But that's perspective that I was able to get over the years. I feel like at 25, I don't know if I was taking people seriously at that point. So that's another thing. That's growth to me. And I can only speak for myself on that.
So here, my question is, are you saying that high value men are looking for naive, dependent women?
Why is that the perpetual idea?
What said that?
I'm just, because at 25, I feel like I was naive and maybe a little bit dependent.
No, see, men, you were fertile at 25. Yeah, y'all could think this. We talking about men, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he know you 35, we know the statistics. So if a 35-year-old man doesn't have a child, right? Mortality is a thing for everybody. People want legacy. They want to procreate. So when a woman is 25, she's only 10 years away from being high risk. So she's not as young as she thinks she is. So for a man, 25 might be right on deck when I'm just hitting my stride at 35. That's why you see the 25-year-olds on the yacht and not the 40-year-olds. Damn, that was fun. What'd you think, Ish?
I mean, I guess if I'm not looking, because I'm over 35, I'm not looking for a man who doesn't have kids. I have all I needed. You know, I already have what I want.
Word. Sis, what you think?
Give me the question one more time, please.
So we kind of came to I don't know if we came to a consensus, but do men get better with age? How do I say it? Do men get better with age? Do women not get better with age?
I think we don't. I'm an example. I'm traumatized. I'm impatient. I will hurt you.
Bruh. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
That's it.
That's good to hear, though. That's good to hear the level, and I hate this word, but the toxicity in that statement was great to hear, because that brand of foolishness is more abundant than we like to admit, and it's out here, and it's just like it's deeply rooted in what Hamp is trying to like fish out of us. It's like that is the consensus mentality that men like myself might be run into consistently, right? Like it's to the degree where y'all like think about, oh, he wants a younger woman, like, oh, he's on some like, whatever R. Kelly type shit. Like, no, it's a matter of nature and fertility. That's right. Like, I want my eggs cooked. Like at that point, 35, 40, these joints are scrambled. I don't know, like they boil. Like I'm not looking for that, right? And just like you might be cute as fuck, 30 plus, like those women exist, doing amazingly, like I mentioned earlier, with their careers. But in terms of fertility and wanting my kids to be healthy and all those other things, it is what it is. It sounds like, oh my God, like how dare he say that? But it's just like, it's the reality of it, right? And then on the other side, y'all were like, oh, why would he want a younger chick? Because he can manipulate. I'm like, that just suggests that y'all were dumb, like profoundly stupid at that age. At 25, I don't know about y'all, but I had a lot of fucking sense, profound layers of sense. It was just like, it just suggests like at 25, you were just like out here doing stupid shit. Like, no. After college, 21, 22, you should have been on some sort of shit where you were somewhat of an adult. At 25, you should have your shit together. Maybe not in life, job, and otherwise, but just your interpersonal, spiritual, mental shit. Like, how you letting niggas just get over on you at 25? You should have learned that dumb shit in college or younger when we were actually taking advantage of you. Like on some, I'm just trying to get some ass shit. 25 plus suggests to me like you on some like, what the fuck? And then you 30, 35 and niggas are still playing you? That's you.
And let me just know, we don't stop calling people eggs old over 35. Number one, mine are in the freezer. I paid to have them frozen, so I'm good. My boo husband, whatever, he can pick them out, and we'll get them tested. They'll be fine. So,
Chan, they say, Wendy's main selling point. They say fresh, never frozen.
Ham, we know you are spreading your seed and multiplying, bro. Is January here? It's January here.
Hey,
yikes!
Hey,
yikes!
Ain't no time today. I can't miss, baby. You feel me? Damn, fresh, never frozen. But
I do say that on first dates. They're like, "Do you have kids?" And I was like, "They in the freezer."
Like,
good Lord,
put him in the fucking bedroom. Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Wakanda is not forever.
All right, Shan, what you rate yourself?
Thank you for asking, Hampton. I would like to copy and paste Mike's answer. And Shanae actually said none of the women said anything about their financial stuff, all this other mess. I will.
Damn straight.
I ain't coming with no bullshit. I tell you that. So that is an asset I definitely bring to the table at this age and time. And I actually did an experiment.
What's the number?
Oh, I'm sorry. So I gave myself all around a 9. And I kind of verified this in a way. I made a whole list of all my characteristics, good, bad, whatever. And I changed 5'2" to 6'2". And I sent it to all my girlfriends. And I was like, this is the dude I'm looking for. Every single one of them told me to calm the fuck down. Any man, that man that you listed out, including his income, oh, everybody looking for him. Why the fuck would he settle down? He out here cheat. He can have whoever he wants. Shan, like, you got to lower your standards. I said, change 6'2" to 5'2". That's me, motherfucker. And so all my homegirls were like, well, shit, what you doing? Like, listen, I know I'm good on...
You saying you had the same trait as a 6'2" man?
Huh?
You saying that you on paper
so what I did,
look like a nigga?
All my characteristics, good, bad, like emotional, how much you make, how many.
No, I know. You don't. I know we got that part, but you saying when you changed it to 5'2" because you're 5'2" tall.
Yeah.
You were the nigga on paper.
So I changed it to 6'2" as an experiment, sent it to my homegirls and was like, this is who I'm looking for. They told me basically that man's a mythical creature or he's dating some like model chick or this or that or that. Shannon, like, I think you need to pull back on some of these.
Those are women scorn.
I'm good in these streets then.
Those are 35-year-old women.
So, but my point in saying that is I know I bring a lot to the table. My house is paid off, baby. Like, no debt, no student loans, like $700K a year. I don't fucking care. Me and my man gonna be good, and so is our kids. Like, I've already planned ahead with eggs and shit. Like,
wait. So so your 9 is encompassing everything.
Yeah, because we all have flaws.
But how do you do that though? When you meet a man, right, and he looking, do you say, by the way, I make 700,000?
Hell no, I hide that shit. Well, we on a public thing right now. I don't fucking care. I know how much niggas make. So listen, I hide that shit. Can I be honest? I'm gonna be honest. I really be trying to hide what car I'm going to. I don't really be trying to tell him too much. Like, they never know I'm an attorney to the last minute. What do? I work in sales.
So what's the rating if you hiding all that shit? What's the rating then?
I would still give myself, if I took finances out of it, I still give myself an 8 because I have a very fun personality. Thank you very much.
Well, I have a question. If you're making that much, then why does he need to make that much? I mean,
I never said he had to make that much. I never said he had to make that list was mythical because it was me. And what I was pointing out is how hard it is to find that exact person. So they confirmed that, right? The person who had everything I had on the list, he would be out here living his best life, traveling, got multiple girls, not settling down. He'll do that shit later. So I was like, I'm not looking for Shannon number 2. I actually have to default to understanding that man might not bring the same amount to the table, right? I have to be okay with that. Because that's not the average. I know I'm not average. I know that.
You're talking about shit that we don't even like.
I know y'all don't care about stuff like that,
we don't
right?
value.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, you don't value, but Mike, I simply copy and pasted what you said, and you smiled when you said all the things you said.
Because women value that.
Right.
Everything I said, women value.
I got you, but I'm that plus a lot of the things the women on here were saying as well. Like that was all on my list. I included all of those things. Like I joke around, I act hard, but I could be Susie Homemaker tomorrow.
But you said something earlier about like, you know, the man that you want is a mythical creature or he's not looking for you. I disagree. I think most men, if not all men, want companionship of some sort. And in our chats and in the chats that I have with the multiple men groups that I'm in, we always talk about like, hey, I'm getting older. It's time for me to settle down. Like I need to find my person. But it may just take longer, or it may look different. It may not be marriage. It may be a long-term relationship. It may just be a situationship. But I think, you know, the idea that somebody with all that money and all that wealth and is old is looking to be out here in these streets, that's incorrect. It gets old.
Yeah. I would.
It gets old.
I would say differently. Like I said, I just did a blind test with women. I sent the list, you know what I mean? And then I sent it to my homeboys and they were like, Shannon, like a guy who knows all of these things about you, it is a little intimidating. And like they weren't saying it in like a
ain't no grown man tell you that shit. Who these niggas?
They're not saying, and I'm not saying
not no grown man.
Don't take that word and run with it. Please don't take that word and run with it. But what they're saying is, to your point, Mike, that's a lot of stuff that guys don't care about, but become assets if you just happen to have them. Right.
But how does that go into your rating,
I
though?
consider assets about myself.
But how does that go into your rating, though? That's what I'm confused.
Because overall, nigga, I don't care what y'all got to say on this thing. I'm bringing a lot to the fucking table.
But you gotta care.
Y'all can downplay my accomplishments, how much I make, like how I show up in the world. I don't give a fuck. I bring a lot to the table.
You gotta care, though.
Nobody downplayed it. Nobody downplayed it.
Nobody downplayed it.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
What do you
downplay?
Like if I get tapped for EV role and my husband's like, we gotta move to California, Silicon Valley, the fuck we do. Yes, we do. Like you can stay at home at this point. Like we're good.
Like I'm looking at the comments now and they're saying that men can be intimidated. I don't know what men. I don't know. Maybe that's
only women say that. Only women say that.
Yeah, I'm not phased by your income.
And I didn't answer someone's question, or somebody posted it like about me walking to my car or something like that. I don't even got a great car. It's just I don't want a man to know. And this, I'm gonna give y'all's props about what y'all were saying earlier. I don't really want him to know how much I bring to the table yet. Because I want you to still treat me a certain way without being like, you know what I mean? You don't understand. Right. Like we go on dates with men. Sometimes y'all switch it up or approach it differently based on what you've observed about us.
I don't know. Niggas just
the average man doesn't give a shit about any of that stuff. We care if you are our piece. We want to clap cheeks. And maybe go on a trip or two. The rest of that shit, especially if you got your shit together, I got my shit together, is usually not a conversation that men bring up. Women do.
Never.
It's always a materialistic, let's see who has these things, and like these conversations, that shit that y'all read on Essence and Ebony magazine, which men do not fucking read. And you mentioned it earlier, like you did that whole, I don't know what survey you did,
It wasn't a survey. It was a joke. It was just a list. I sent it to my homegirls.
Well, men don't do that. We don't do fucking lists. It's just like if we have a list, our shit is 3 things long. Like, you know, make me a sandwich from time to time. Let me tap that ass and just be cool. Like that's literally like
basic as fuck.
Because we're, you know,
but Shan, what we're saying is that list, when you're trying to put a value, like we ain't gonna get. So with a woman in general, she can have all that, but if she got the fucking Stacey Abrams face,
put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
That shit ain't happening.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
You lost twice.
And you lost
I feel the same way. I feel the same way about men, because I've had girlfriends say, "Oh, Shannon, look at a guy. Why does that have to be a requirement? Da, 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 when we come to physical things, right?" And I'm like, because when he walked through the door, I'm the one who got to be attracted to him for this thing to last. Like, don't tell me to change up what I like and all this other stuff. So I get that. Like, y'all need to be attracted to us. I got it.
Well, no, but not. It's not the same. Like, attraction matters more for us than it does you guys.
I wouldn't say that, actually. There's very few things I really need right now, and I really need you to be attractive when you walk through that door. I ain't trying to lay next to a bag of remotes. I've said that multiple times. Like,
yeah, no, I get it. I'm just saying, if there was a totem pole, that's usually not. It's higher on our totem pole than it is on you guys.
No, I'm telling you, it's high on mine. It's very. I want you to be fine when you walk through that door.
And this is the reason why.
Can I be fine and broke? Can I be fine and like?
But I'm words of affirmation and like acts of service. You wash the dishes, tell me I'm cute. Like, you might get anything you want. So
I can make 60,000 a year.
Yeah, I don't need your money.
That's real.
I don't need your money. I can still go into private school.
Laura had a question, and then I want to ask Sis the same question.
Oh, I was going to ask Shan, do you have direct experience of a man that you dated or gone on a date with where your income was an issue?
I don't ever share my income.
So no. Sis, what do you rate yourself?
Thinking about this. I don't know. I think I'm about a 6. You know, I got some weight to lose. So, you know, there's some things that gotta be tweaked, you know, to get back to maybe where I was once upon a time.
What do you think you're a good catch?
Why
you laugh?
I know I'm a good catch. You know, I have an example. Like, you know, last week he cooked every day for this dude. You know, came over after work. He ate all the food. You know, I cooked the best dish.
Turn on.
Other dishes, you know, all of that. But then I said to myself, what is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, I found myself slightly confused. Like, am I doing too much? I you know, I don't know. Like, I was confused with the dating, how to date. Like, I got like cold feet. So, you know, I just kind of, I don't know. I don't know what to do now, you know?
If I could interject, man, I think what you just said was so profound because it speaks to such a ingrained thing in our culture, particularly with Black women, where y'all have such confusion around what your role is in reference to a man. And you say you were confused, you didn't know what to do, but you were doing all the things that come with, again, the duty of being a woman that is in relation with a man. It's just like, yo, like we as men, we never ever have to question, I gotta go to work. I gotta provide. I gotta protect my kids, my woman. I gotta protect my castle. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be strapped. I gotta have a knife, all these other things, right? I gotta make sure that my woman isn't disrespected. I gotta make sure that I elevate her voice. These things are so ingrained in us that we never question them ever, period, right? But it's also because men are never in a position where we could take a step back and just chill.
Yep.
It is extremely rare. Every man on this panel, including Ham, could tell you like, yo, I don't have space to just chill. And when I do chill, like I admire, like I love it because it doesn't just come like that, right? So like that level of confusion is, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's very interesting how much the modern woman has such a lack of understanding in regards to like what her role really is. And it's always in question. And I think it's just interesting. I personally think it's problematic, but overall it's just interesting because you're not the first one that I've heard that from. But I appreciate your honesty.
Damn, sis been honest as shit, man. So when men tell you what they want, women, why does it feel like you guys ignore it and start naming shit we don't give a fuck about?
Oh, I know I'm not offering nothing y'all want. I heard the list. I know. I'm very self-aware. I'm not offering nothing y'all want. And that's why I'm not in the game. Okay? I understand that I am not of service. Don't take that word too far. I'm a very loving person, supportive person, because, you know, I like that where I am in life and in my personal and my mental, because I have the space to be those things for you. It doesn't take nothing away from me to support you, to love you, to do all those things. But yeah, I'm probably not none of them lists that y'all just said. So I'm gonna sit over here.
Lord, do you know what men want?
Can you come back to me?
Mike, do we know what women want?
Yeah.
What's that?
They just want somebody that's going to take care of them. That's it.
At the end of the day?
That's it. At the basic, that's it. Somebody that's going to hold them down. I wanted to add on to something. So
go ahead.
I have been going out on dates with this chick, you know, taking care of the tab, you know, taking her out, going to different places. And we had been out a few times. And so, you know, she would send me pictures of like her like meals. Like she said, oh, you know, I'm really good at cooking. You know, I can do this, do that. And so, you know, we were FaceTiming and she had just cooked something. So I was like, okay, well, the next time we meet up, you know, I come over or you come over, you know, bring something you cooked, and I'll bring the bottle, whatever you need, and then we'll have dinner at each other's place. And she goes, oh, I only cook for my boyfriend. And I was like, okay, well, I only pay for dates. Only pay for dates for my girlfriend. And I literally put it in the friend zone. But I was just like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's this double standard. Like you let me take you out, you let me do all these things, and now like that I want something. It's like, oh well, you know, my boyfriend, so I can't do it for you. You know. So this is what dating older women is like in DC.
And she knew that bullshit.
That's kind of dumb, but I'm also Southern. Like sharing a meal with somebody or cooking. I was gonna cook for me anyway. Once again, only focused on what I was gonna do. Hey, come on over, get you a plate, baby. Like, it's fine. Like, we just splitting a meal.
Man,
I don't mind.
Nah, but your sisters are out here on that bullshit. Like that shit is irritating because it's just like that brother went out with pure intentions, and here you go, like, oh, I don't cook for nobody but my boyfriend. Well, you're not gonna have one of them motherfuckers ever if this is your mentality. Bum ass heifer. Sorry.
B, do you think we know what women want?
Do we, as men, think?
Do you know what women want?
They're so complicated. No, I don't know what they want.
Okay. You think women know what we want?
Yeah, because men are pretty simple. The 3 S's. All men want them: sex, silence, and sandwich. Yes, had to think about the third one. Yeah. Men are pretty simple.
That's legit.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Sex, silence, sandwich.
The 3 S's.
Okay. Cool. Isha, do women know what men want?
Yes, I do believe so.
What's that?
Sex, silence, and a sandwich.
Ow.
And so why is so many women just leave with shit that we don't want? What do you think? Why do you think that happens?
I think it took a long time for me to realize that men don't value like your income, educational status, and stuff like that. I think as a woman competing, that's probably what she feels like she needs to bring to the table. And like, well, I have this, and that, thinking that men value that.
Y'all do that for other women. I said that at the beginning of the show. Like, women ferociously compete with other women. And then y'all try to attribute that shit to men. And it's like, I don't give a shit about none of that shit.
It's possible a woman can say, well, I have this because so I'm better than her. But like you said, men are not looking for that kind of stuff. So
Sis, no, did I ask? Oh, Laura. We went all the way around.
I don't know. I can't fully say. I mean, I'm gonna just say what I think. I think that men want, I don't know, support, good loving, a good cooked meal, the cheeks. Like Eddie said, the cheeks.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the simplest way I can put it.
Okay.
Laura, you in the DMV?
Yes.
Shoot your shot, baby.
You never met Laura before?
Nah, son.
Word.
I'm at this Christmas party tomorrow, baby. Ugly sweater. I'm through.
What?
Everybody put in the chat.
Word. Interesting. So my last question is, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it that we can't get together? That we largely unwed? I mean, we mostly date within our race. 85% for men, 93% for women. But you see the passport boys trending. You know, where they go to other countries to find women because they sick and tired of the women here. So whose fault is it that we can't get together? Whose fault is it that our women are 35 plus, 40 plus, with a dog and dying alone and shit like that? Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Whose fault is it? Let it marinate for a second. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Do us a favor, hit the like button right now if you can. That puts us in an algorithm that helps the channel the most.
Come on here, Shanny, with the dog. Come on here.
Yo. So
yo. Can I?
No.
Okay.
Just pause, nigga. You just got up here. So whose fault is it? Get that. What is that? You can't give niggas no money. They buy expensive.
It's a very expensive dog.
I just said
it's a very expensive dog.
Wow.
Man, put that ugly ass dog back where you got it
First
from.
of all,
Where does he live?
It's $3,000 per puppy. Okay, this is a money.
Put him in the garage.
He got an only pause page. Anybody?
Only pause.
It's an investment opportunity, passive income.
Man, fuck that dog, man. I hate dogs. Shout out to the dog. Go ahead, Asia. What you about to say? Whose fault is it? Go ahead, Asia.
Okay. So I will say it's on both of our sides, and typically I won't say that, but I will admit truthfully it's on both of us. You can't lay within just one person's lap.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
What show do you think this is?
An equal show.
There's no such thing as equality. Let me stop you right there. There's
Indeed.
no such thing as equality.
You gotta stand on something around here, right, B?
That's right, Hamp.
Men and women are not equal.
You got your own amen corner. Okay, that's real cute. But as I was saying,
you changed
it's on both of our parts. And I say men and women. It is.
I can't. I can't. Come
So
on.
you don't want my opinion? Is that what you're telling me?
I
He only agrees with you.
I'm gonna give help.
Let B show you how it's done. Go ahead, B.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm gonna Oh, thank you. At the end of the day, I'm gonna say it's the women's fault. Statistics have shown that Black women are filing for most divorces. Y'all are the most educated, but y'all are the most undesirable from what the studies have shown. Black men, we have stepped up to the plate. Studies have shown that Black men are the most active fathers out of any of the race of people on the face of the earth. Y'all are out here,
Shit like that.
Y'all get the most welfare, the most food stamps, the most public assistance because y'all have
false.
Nah,
that's not accurate, bro.
False. That's false.
That's
false.
That's false.
White women are.
Can the man finish?
We can't let him.
Let him finish.
This is foolishness, and y'all agree.
Let him finish.
Miss, just got back on to change your shirt. You let me finish talking. Hell, damn it. Hold on now. Shit. So I may have gotten one wrong, but at the end of the day, I stand by everything else that I said that statistics have shown to be in my favor. So I say it's the women's fault. For a man to be this simple, how are we? If a man is this simple, then the issue has to lie within the women. If men just want sex, sandwich, and silence, those three things that we want, and if we're that simple, then the issue lies with you women. So y'all figure out y'all's issues, then come back and see me on the next episode if I'm here. All right.
If this is the quality of men that's out there, this is why I'm fucking single on purpose. And I don't even cuss. If that is what's out there, I prefer to be single. Me and my puppy and my cats, because that was pure foolishness. Like that.
How was that foolishness?
I'm about to tell you how. I'm about to tell you exactly how. Your stats were highly false and offensive. Like it's like you purposely went out your way to be offensive. Black women are known to have the most welfare. They
okay. All right, hold on. So I've gotten one stat wrong. Okay, I'll take that punch to the chin. I was wrong. Okay, we all say lots of things in life that we're wrong about. That goes for everyone on the podcast. I got corrected. I corrected my mistake. But this is something that I want to know, because I was having this conversation with the lady at work. Okay, who's dumb as hell. But nonetheless, if I am coming with stats from the CDC and BlackDemographics.com, and the stats that I tell women day in and day out, they are verifiable from the CDC and BlackDemographics.com, how are these stats then false? You women kill me with that. If you aren't a researcher, then refute the stats. But you can't because you're not a researcher. So how is what I'm saying false? Or it's derogatory towards Black women if it's the truth? Black women are the most enrolled in college. Y'all do have the most debt. Out of any group of women on the face of the earth, Black women do file for divorce more than anyone else. How am I saying what's wrong?
Yeah, he's not. So
CDC and BlackDemographics.com.
And then when Black women were voted, all right, they did a study. Black women were found to be the least desirable.
And
that's
Asian
not
men, right?
Oh yeah, that wasn't B just saying. Like that's an actual study, a peer review.
But that's like when you say like something like that, like it takes it out of context of like oppression.
Yeah,
and
get a little more context.
Yeah, that's why like I think as a Black man you should never say that. You should,
well,
no. Let me finish. Let me finish. Because that's divisive. You know what I'm saying? So I think as a Black man, I just from another man to a man, like you should never say that out loud to
it
another
was
woman.
pure vitriol. It was what you're saying was
unnecessary.
Vitriol.
Yeah.
It really was.
Like
that's
Black
men out there, I'd rather stay single.
Yeah.
Because
I
ain't no
expect
way
to
in
hear
the
that from a
world
white person.
Ain't no way in the world ever let a man talk to me and have that sentiment towards me, and we're supposed to embrace y'all. Ain't no way. There's no way in the world.
So
go ahead. I'll let y'all finish.
Well, no, because I know what you expounded on the point, right? But Mike, truth should always feel like what, right? So if what he's saying can be divisive, because we're having a conversation about whose fault it is, because we need to uncover so that we can do better. Things might hurt, but they're still honest.
No. See, and my problem with that is, is where is the sample? Like, who is sampled there? If you're sampling the U.S. population, that's majority white people.
You know, it's just I would like to see like where that came from and where the data came from, because I guarantee you it's skewing towards white or non-black people. You know,
In
so
terms
again,
of which part, for instance,
by being the least desirable.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably based on the U.S. population, which is majority white. So, but again, I think as a black man, it should never come out of your mouth. It should never say that. But anyways, I'm going to follow up.
Absolutely not like that.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like hate speech. To me, that's the equivalent of hate speech.
All right, but can I also say this? How many people know me from this podcast? Everyone. How many times did I get on this podcast or gotten on this podcast and put my foot in my mouth? I've been doing that all my life.
Nobody's above being checked.
Listen, if it's the truth, then it's the truth. I mean,
Shanny already sent you over there with the white women. Did you find one yet? That's what I'm trying to
see.
figure out.
And Ham, you see what your sister just said? You see what she just said?
But I'm just saying.
Listen.
Because I'm over here with the white men.
B,
you over here? We can all look together. Like we can go together.
But Ham,
You live in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
Do you see what your sister just did? I speak a fact that's verifiable, and this is what she did. Oh, Shanny must have put you over there with the white women. Why it got to be that? Why can't it just be like Amp said? The truth.
No, she was saying from a past podcast. Shanny said that to you. You need to go find a white woman.
Okay, and why? Because I'm speaking my mind. I need to find a white woman.
On the previous one, you were talking down about black women, and I said that's okay. We give you back. We release you, brother, and you are welcome. Go and find your alabaster woman. Okay, like you are 8.5 by 11.
Day in and day out.
Find your 8.5 by 11 queen. Okay, I got that for you. You'll catch that later. Just. It's okay, because I'm dating outside of my race too. Listen, I did 37 years with you black men. I'll be back, but I'm going to try a little something.
Sell out.
I'll be that. Sold out, okay? Sold out.
Jesus Christ.
According to B, I'm on sale.
I never said that. If that's what you took, then that's what you took out of it.
Yeah, and Mike,
it's really the standpoint of even how it was presented is like really emotional, like real emotional. And the thing about it is, if you know you speak and you say what you have to say, right? Allow me to say, you know, my sentiment and my supporting argument, but instead it just proved that men are overly emotional.
That does not prove anything.
A lot of men are overly emotional and can't.
That does not prove anything.
It certainly does, because
you got to be careful in speaking in absolutes as well.
So was it 4 y'all on here? 1 out of the 4. What is percentage is that? So that's the percentage we're gonna use. That's the statistics we're gonna use tonight, right?
No.
And so and y'all was amening him.
That's a straw man argument. It's just like you're reaching for things that are not actually concrete, and you're also speaking absolutes.
Not letting me talk. I understand it. You're intimidated. I get it. You won't let me
talk.
Oh,
man. Are you related to Q? Oh my God, what the hell's going on? This is absurd.
So you're saying that because you perceived when B was talking as emotional, you're saying that men are emotional?
What I'm saying is, if he represents a category of men that's out there for us single women to choose from, I'd rather stay single, because I don't do well with overly emotional men. I don't do well with men that practice vitriol in their speech as it comes to women. I don't do well with that.
Well, let's break down your statement. What was so emotional about what he was saying?
His hands were flying all over the place. He was loud. He was over talking. It was full of hate, which is an emotion. It was full of vitriol. And then when someone tried to talk, he interjected, because he wanted to make sure his point was across. And then even had to sit there and say, well, you ain't no researcher. If you want to get and then tried to go personal with it. Instead of just quoting his little false facts, he wanted to sit there and get a little bit personally emotional with it. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
The average woman that I've dated and has similar reactions does that perpetually.
Well, that's a
Every
problem. And that's
single
a problem.
detail.
Say it again, Eddie, and that's a problem, right?
No. I wasn't every single detail that you just described. Like you're attempting to land that simply on B, but it's just like women perpetually do that. And I exclusively date black women, so I can say black women exclusively do that. A group of women, right? But I'm also not going to take what you say and be like, oh, I'm just going to completely throw all black men under the bus. Like, no, right? What I would say was missing from your assertion is your overall awareness. If you're aware that you don't want to engage with this type of man, then you don't engage with that type of man. You don't just overall dismiss all black men.
I never said that.
You said it about 2-3 times in your soliloquy.
10 times ago.
You said it about 2-3 times.
You said it.
No, I didn't say I
Yes, you said, oh, yeah, you did. Because you said, if men like that, you said it out your own mouth.
Men like that, yeah.
She said that category. She put you in a category. You're in a category. She don't want a man like that.
Right, but she also speaks in absolute.
A black woman, I guess, doing all of this and all of that. So that's that.
Hell, how many times have we gone out?
If that's the case, we wouldn't date any of y'all. But
and you gotta tell me, hey, B, tone it down some. You're a little too passionate. You're a little too hyper. So can we not say that's just in my nature? Sometimes I get excited and passionate about certain things.
Yeah.
Can we not say that?
Yeah.
That's fine. But
if Hamp talks about the Bible, Hamp gets passionate about it. That is who he is. We can say that about all of us on this podcast.
But can you have control of your emotions, though? Can you control your emotions, though?
I can control.
You can be passionate.
I didn't hear you.
You can definitely be passionate, but also be in control. Don't let your emotions control you.
What have I done that was emotional? I got excited. I said I didn't call in one of the names.
Yeah.
I didn't throw anything. I didn't
say that either.
But yeah,
I'm in the confines of my own home. I can get loud. I have not disrespected
all of those things, and you did do it. But what I'm saying is, when we're having a conversation and someone's trying to have a dialogue, there's a way in which you communicate. Communication 101. The receiver has to hear your message as you being the sender, right? And so part of that breakdown is why I said it's on both of us, because at times we don't listen to one another. Men have a problem at times communicating, and the communication is not just talking, it's also listening for understanding. That is missing.
But you saying all that to say what? The man didn't say anything. Like when he was talking, he's just talking, and he's just talking at the panel.
I think you have more of a disdain with the message.
Yeah, it was what he said. For once, the substance of what he said got to you, not how he was saying it. Well, usually it's how we say it. This time it was what he said.
It was both. Because he could sat there and said, stats all day long. Stats don't make you get all emotional with y'all and have such passion about some stats. You had passion about those stats because you sound like you were angry with black women, is what it sounds like.
Correct. But I wanted to interject really quick because I knew that stat about black women being least desirable is not right. So it's based off of the data from it's based off of data from OkCupid. So it comes from a dating app from 2014, and the most, and hold on, let me finish. Most of the respondents are non-black men. 82% of people that responded to that aren't black. So for you to stand on that with both of your feet is wrong.
All right, but hold on. What if it was to tell you that research actually came from a college, and that came from
look to see where they got the data from. It's OkCupid, a 2014 blog that was deleted because it was skewed data.
That's not what I found in my.
Well, you can pull it up. I guarantee you. I guarantee you it's from the same. It's from the same OkCupid.
Okay.
Because where else would they get that data from if it's not a dating app?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but
you think there's a survey out? It's a dating app. That's where he got it from. A 2014 survey, and most of the respondents are non-black men.
I don't agree with that stat.
Neither do I.
It just comes off like some bullshit, but the
other
other stuff is
divisive.
accurate. Like,
oh yeah, I agree with the other stuff you said.
The other stuff is, it is what it is. Like.
Right. But to answer Ham's question from earlier, I do blame women, and not to say that's a bad thing. I think men have been the same since the dawn of time. We have not changed. We are the same. I think women have got more educated.
Yes,
more income.
Mhm.
They can get divorces now. They have a choice,
Mhm.
and that's why you're seeing the divisiveness. Or you're seeing the split of the
85% of divorces are engaged by women first.
So I will.
That's because marriage doesn't benefit women, but whatever. Go ahead.
It surely
Well,
doesn't benefit men.
That's another conversation.
You're a
in
lawyer.
itself.
Come on now. You're a lawyer.
No, divorces don't benefit men, but
marriage. If
marriage
I don't
benefits
have to
y'all
get to
quite
the
well.
divorce knowing the marriage doesn't benefit me, because most women are not about marriage; they're about the image. I said that earlier.
I wouldn't disagree. I actually wouldn't disagree with you, Eddie. I wouldn't, because there's a lot of women on online right now who are posting every day about their marriages and their kids, and their soon-to-be ex-husbands are DMing me questions about family law because they're actually going through a divorce, and she's still trying to put up the
They're
facade.
miserable,
All
right?
right, you are right, Eddie.
I think we need to normalize calling women losers, because there's a whole bunch of them.
Just when I was coming around to liking you
No,
a little
I,
bit,
I'm going off of the energy of what you just said. I'm just like, there's absolutely no problem calling a man a loser. We just saw an example of it between, Asia and B, right? Like, she disagreed. It's just like, oh, that's God, I never want to be around that type of man. Boom, 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 boom. That's easy, right? But when we call a woman a loser and she's an actual fucking loser, it's just like, oh, you're not supposed to. No, that's not. No, it's okay. Like, women can be losers. That's all right.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not in a relationship with a woman, so I wouldn't call her a loser within a relationship. But there are some women that I'll look at and be like, she's a fucking loser, just in general, because she ain't got her shit together and she just, like, her mentality's off. Like, I check my friends just as much as y'all want to check them. You know what I mean? I'm a friend and a mirror. Like, you gonna get both from me.
Oh, yeah.
So I agree.
Yes. I agree with that.
Yeah. Laura, whose fault is it? Come on, man. I ain't going back around again.
I'm not asking you to. Relax. I can say it's the woman's fault.
Why is that?
I think that to some degree we have control over a lot of things, and I can say that sometimes women don't know when to walk away. And so you stay longer than you have to stay. You put up with more than you have to put up with when you could have had better a long time ago. And I'm not speaking I'm speaking in terms of treatment. I'm speaking in terms of, if this is not like making you happy, if this is not suited for you, leave. But instead, a lot of the times as women, we stay and we hope that we can change this person. We hope that they see the better in us and all these other things, when maybe this person wasn't your person.
Well, the divorce rate statistic is correct, so it wouldn't back up what you're saying.
But I'm just speaking from my experience.
So anecdotal, because you were saying women, so you're saying you leave?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're saying women stay? What are you saying? You saying you stayed in the past, but women leave based on the statistics?
Yeah. I can only speak from my experience. I've never been married, so I can't speak on marriage and divorce. But I'm just saying from my experience, I feel like things could have turned out differently if I had just...
Yeah. So I think what we see is men usually don't leave.
Yeah. But women also stay. Like, women also stay because they're comfortable. They fear what's on the other side of that. Like, it's not just men not wanting to rock the boat. Women do the same thing. A lot. Like, I've seen it.
What's that?
People staying in situations because they, for whatever reason, whether it be, am I going to get better than this? I don't want to start over. That's a huge excuse. I don't want to start over. And it's like, it's okay to start over. But the fear of getting out there and dating again it can be a deterrent.
Do you think we just lack the fortitude that they had in yesteryear?
To stay?
Yeah, mental fortitude, testicular fortitude.
Testicular fortitude.
I feel
Yeah.
like we're weak now.
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
Because what Eddie was saying, you don't do 40 years and be in love all 40 years. There's no way.
No, I think that there's definitely a lack of patience, and the mentality that I can get better, I can do better, and also like there's so many other competing factors that the grass is greener on the other side, and a lot of the times it's not.
Yeah.
So.
Isha, whose fault is it?
I'm gonna say men, only because I feel like men stop leading their households.
You done?
Yeah. Concise. They stop leading the households. And I know you probably say, well, women are running things, but because the men are not, there's no order in the household. And men are the ones that are supposed to set the order. And you guys said basically all a woman wants is for a man to take care of her. So maybe the men are unable to take care of these women now. So that's why they're not leading the households.
Can we talk about the root cause real quick though? Who's
Well,
raising those men?
Let me. Yeah, that's true like a motherfucker. But let me ask this: whose fault is it, sis?
He said, "Who's raising those men? We have to. If the men are not in the home, like we're forced to. But whose fault is it? Ooh, I don't know. The white man has a big part to play in this. So, I guess men all around, just men, the men."
Now, when you say men aren't around, right, it doesn't negate Eddie's question because you said that you have no choice but to raise them. The fact is, who is raising them?
Well, a lot of black women are doing the very best they can, and then what you expect?
Okay, go ahead, Eddie.
So what's missing is historical context, right? When the welfare programs and housing programs were introduced into the black community, overwhelming amount of black women decided to take that on, right? They decided to take this on, which means that sentiment already existed, but it blew the fuck up. And when you mention the white man, yes, this was a government operated thing, right? But they didn't know that it was going to be so successful, right? So now you have programs where the removal of the black man is the way that you get your benefits, your WIC checks, your low ass rent, all that other shit, right? So now you have generations and generations and generations of black boys almost strictly being raised by black women, right? Now, if you have a generation or several generations of boys being raised by women, they're picking up your tendencies, they're picking up your profound emotionalism, and women tend to function in chaos, right? And they also do not have the wherewithal as to how to functionally be a full man, right? Not one woman on this panel has a penis, so you don't know what it is to be a man. I don't have a vagina. I don't know what it is to be a woman, but I know how to raise a boy through and through and through because I've been through all the shit that he's going to be through, right? So in terms of you having to do so, yeah, because like there's a removal of men, right? But there's also a generation of men who have only strictly gotten their idea of being a man from women, which means automatic confusion, right? So I can't hold you. I can't protect you because I don't know how. All my ideas and my emotions are from my mother, from my aunts, from my sister. So I'm profoundly emotional and I can't focus on giving you any type of direction. And when it comes to my kids, they're going to pick up that same level of emotion, particularly the boys, right? So now you're dating a whole bunch of men that are actively low key a mirror of you. So y'all both emotional as fuck. I can't lead you because I don't know how. And here we are, right? So I was just gonna provide that context because yes, sis, a part of what you said was right. Yes, Isha, a part of what you said was right, but it was missing context. So I was like, yeah, if you have a generation of sissy ass niggas out here, it makes sense why your dating life is the way it is in terms of overall women. I'm speaking in general, not to anybody on the panel. It makes sense why, there is a disconnect in terms of like who's leading the home. Just keeping it funky.
Yeah, I think it definitely has to matter. So Asia, whose fault is it? Huh? You on mute? We can't hear you.
You gotta stop using these boost moguls, boy.
Yeah, man. God damn. And Mike, yeah, like with the study, right? We see who is dominated by. We use some people use some experience that was specific to them. Let me show you guys a video real quick. In terms of the desirability.
Nigga, peep game. Dealing with a white chick, right? It's 5:30 in the morning, bro. No crazy long text messages. No blowing up my phone. It's 5:30 in the morning. I've been out since like 10. I left the crib at 10. It's 5:30 in the morning. I call her. No argument when she answered the phone. All I ask her is, what she want from Mickey D's and I'm gonna grab me. No argument, no where you been, no nothing. All she said is get her a burrito, a breakfast burrito. Bro, can't beat that shit, bro. I ain't do shit. I was just out. But, yo, can't beat that shit. Fuck y'all niggas.
The video.
I don't know, man. If you know me, I have a disdain for black people that date white people. I have a extreme disdain for it.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah,
for sure. But what he was alluding to was the one thing we desire in our top 3: peace. Obviously he made a video because he, what I mean. But that peace, I feel like it lacks so much from our women, generally speaking.
I think I accidentally give men peace. Accidentally. Only because, and let me tell you how I accidentally do it. And I hope more of my sisters are able to get to this point in their life where they can accidentally give y'all peace as well. Because I ain't think about y'all. So I just even in relation, like it's like almost a gift and a curse because
Machine, you say you're not available. Like you ain't really a part of the pot.
Well, I could be though. Tomorrow I could be. I'm an Aquarius. I'm a little weird. Okay?
Oh yeah, that's damn horoscope bullshit.
Shan, you were doing so good, Shan.
You're doing so good.
God.
I did that for you.
Yeah, like
I
we
did
get
that.
it, but
y'all can't help but
But
be
no,
women,
my
son.
point.
Like, oh
yeah,
God.
you don't give a
is,
fuck about niggas.
I'm being funny, but I'm also being serious. As I've gotten better as a woman, as I've gotten older, there's some stuff like I don't pay attention to enough for it to bother me to mess up your peace because they don't bother me no more. Like there's certain things like I got going on in my life that I have to focus on, so I can't be bothered chasing you up and down the street because I got my own life.
Yeah,
like
but
you know what I mean. So and I accidentally give you peace because I ain't even think about it.
Yeah.
You know what it is men, we let go of a lot. We let a lot of shit slide. I think if we were to point out everything that you do that pisses us off, it'd be a war zone. But women can't. It's almost as if you have like, I'm gonna let go of 2 things and everything else I'm gonna fucking blow the fuck up. But I agree. I feel like you all could just be our peace, and you would see more unity.
I agree with you, Mike. I agree that y'all will let more stuff go, but I'm able to let it go because you don't live with me. I can just go home. Like you getting on my nerves, I just go home. I don't. Like,
Shan, they not looking for what you looking for.
sorry. Okay.
They just not. AJ, you saying something? Huh? We can't hear you. Go out and come back in. God damn, she trying 4 different devices. She got that T-Mobile home internet service.
That's God telling her opinion ain't shit. That's all that is.
How does she work from home? I want to call her employer, but like she gotta come back into the office. This ain't working out.
This ain't working out, man.
Ain't no way you work from home.
Damn, man. But I like to hear Angel's opinion because the opinion is so
confused.
Well, feminist centric. Like it's so like black girl magic-esque and all that. And I'm just like, where is that getting us in terms of relationships? And I'm just asking, like, where is it actually getting us?
I think we have a standing confused femininity. I say this repeatedly in any discussion I have with women, man. Black women, like, feminism was never your fight, ever. Y'all picked up a whole bunch of bullshit that has absolutely nothing to do with the black community, particularly the dynamics between black men and black women. That shit has fucked up our shit so badly to the degree where I go back to Mike's point. It's just like, yo, like it's to the degree where we have to dismiss a lot of shit that our sisters do in order to have any semblance of peace. Because y'all disrespect us on a consistent basis, and it'll be a subtle little shit. Like even in friendships, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna let that slide because you're not my woman. You know what? I'm gonna let that slide because this and that or whatever. But it gets to the point where we have to check y'all on certain shit, and when we do, it falls back on this. You can't tell black women shit.
Can you give us an
Accountability.
example? Like, can we have an example of what you're referring to?
There was one. This is one girl. What's her name? Oh, maybe I shouldn't say her name. I don't know.
What did she do? What was the action? We can relate to that.
So she was like, we was talking about something, and then she did like whatever, get out and like waved her hand in my face type shit. Like, you know what I'm
That
saying?
shit is.
Mike was there.
Yes.
And what's the name? I'm like, bitch, who the fuck? See, I say bitch in real life if I really mean it. Like, I'm not gonna be on the internet saying that bullshit. But if I'm in front of you and you are being a bitch, I'm probably gonna say it. But Mike with like, nah, like, but it's just crazy that they think they could do that shit to. Oh no, Mike, you thinking about the other chick talking about she gonna punch me or some shit.
Oh, I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah,
I remember I was at our boy's house, and I'm arguing with a chick, and then she got up off the couch. And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like what is that?
Yeah. Like that's fucking that's crazy. Like
yeah.
Because men don't, like, generally speaking, if you don't know a dude, he ain't gonna be like, nigga, like everybody stays calm because you know what can happen.
Yeah, we have a threat of violence. Like there's a fine line that all men understand. It is unspoken, but it's just like, if you get up from your couch and we just talking, I'm getting up. Like, what are we doing? Or what's about to happen? But like, women do not have that as a consistent, conscious thing. It's just like if a chick stand up in front of me, I'll be like, okay, what are you about to do? Because you're not gonna hit me, and if you do, you're gonna go through these floorboards. Like, like, don't do that to yourself.
That shit crazy. But just like how y'all be like just a mouthing and just talking to niggas crazy, like it don't.
I will say, and to Eddie's point, you only see black women talking shit about black men publicly. Like that, if you log on to any social media platform anywhere, you're gonna see, if you want to see anybody talking about black men, it's gonna be a black woman, and it's gonna be talking about like niggas ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't doing shit, y'all ain't doing this, and we gotta read that shit every day. You know what I'm saying? Even if we
We're
don't
the
prescribe
only
to
cultural group that does that shit on the planet
publicly,
Earth, publicly bashing their own men.
Yeah.
You see how everybody's quiet because they probably participated in it.
I didn't participate, but I
Wow.
agree. I don't
Yeah.
participate, but I agree. Y'all also bashed us publicly. It happens in the community. I got it.
Rare.
Profoundly rare. And if it happens, it's in defense
Are
of
we
the
on two
bullshit we
different
heard.
sides of TikTok? I'm just using
No.
TikTok. I'm not cool.
I don't have TikTok.
I don't
And,
know.
you know, it's
I'm
funny.
not cool. I don't know.
If you do see it, it's probably because that man is dating somebody that's not black. It's 100% of the time they're like, oh, this is why I don't date black women. But like that's like 1%.
Or he's profoundly effeminate, or he was
Yes.
probably raised by a woman and he's showing it. Only bitch ass niggas spend their time arguing with women.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't personally bash you guys because it's a lot of energy to do that.
And y'all smell it. Y'all smell the pheromones. You've been in that position. Every woman on this panel has been in that position. When a man is going back and forth with you, in the back of your mind, you're like, why is this nigga arguing with me? Because you know what it looks like when a man doesn't argue with you. You know when you're in the presence of a solid motherfucker because he's not going to argue with you. I'm like, go sit your ass down somewhere. I ain't got time for this shit.
Yep. Like even when I argue with my wife, I get so angry because if it was a man, we would not be arguing. You know what I mean? That's what makes me so mad. Like sometimes I'm like, you wouldn't dare if I could put hands and feet on you. Like that's my thought. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like it just you right. Like, that's crazy, man. Damn. Ish, final thought on this, man. I'm sick of y'all shit. Final thought.
I still think that is men's fault. They are bashing on both ends of the spectrum. I do not participate in bashing black men. To each his own.
Oh no, we must not be Facebook. Maybe I guess we ain't Facebook friends.
We are Facebook friends, but have you seen me bash black men or have you seen me talk about my dating life? There's two different things there.
Are they black?
But I'm not saying, you know, this black man this. No, I'm like, this man, he wanted me to fuck him with a dildo. He's gay, like stuff like that. Like I don't say any other kind of stuff.
Oh God, yo. That's why I found Isha when she was telling them stories. I said, yo, you gotta come on the thing. Damn, man. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hey, this has been enlightening and awesome, man. I shout out to y'all, especially some of the first timers. Y'all did y'all thing, man. I remember Isha first time. She almost got fired. So shout out to y'all. Hey, listen. I don't really fuck with Jerry Springer, but I do like one of his constructs. Eddie, final thought.
Accountability is a woman's kryptonite.
That's it.
That's it.
Sis.
You muted.
You on mute.
Okay. Try to be a man's piece. Just try. And 35+-year-olds can still get flued out.
B.
Final thought. Great episode. I love you all. Work on being the best version of yourself, and everyone should have a brother like him.
Shan.
If you ain't in the game, you don't have to learn the rules. You get to just be a spectator and laugh at those who playing.
Mike.
At the end of the day, we all we got, and fuck what everybody else thinks. You need to do what works best for the two of you.
Ish.
I think when dating, women should show effort, opposed to competing.
Laura.
It's never okay to bash black women or men, and just continue dating until you find your person.
Yeah, man, it's definitely hard out here, and I will say that you should fight for every single second of that marriage. So all this, I can leave now if I want. No, we aren't overwhelmingly successful because of that as a people, right? That companion, that partner, that help me, we all need that, right? We all need that protector, provider. And I think that we should fight harder for our relationships. And if you think it's going to be roses and bubbles the whole time, you're sorely mistaken. So when you hit a rough patch, don't go to the lawyers. Shout out to Shan. I mean, stick through that shit, right? Because like Laura said, the grass will not be greener. It will not be. I promise. So like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and we out.
You catch y'all on the flip, man.